Hey, welcome. Today, we're jumping into a concept that might just be the ultimate advantage in a world that's always changing. It's called the curiosity quotient. So, you've heard about IQ, right? That's your intelligence. And you've definitely heard of EQ for your emotional connection with people. Both are super important, no doubt. But have you ever stopped to think, what's the actual engine? What's the force that really pushes you forward into new territory? Well, that brings us to the answer and our very first section. It's time to meet a third incredibly powerful measure. It's called CQ, the curiosity quotient. So, what exactly is CQ? At its core, it's your drive to be curious. But it's so much more than just knowing a bunch of stuff. It's the desire to know more. And this is the crucial part. It's about actually acting on that desire. It's a proactive, hungry kind of quality. I absolutely love this metaphor because it just makes it all click. Picture this. Life is a giant ocean. Your IQ? That's your boat. Pretty important. Your EQ is your compass, helping you navigate. But your CQ, your curiosity quotient, that's the wind in your sails. Without the wind, your boat's just sitting there. Curiosity is what creates momentum. And the difference it makes is just huge. Without CQ, you stay in the same harbor. Sure, it's safe, but you're stagnant. With CQ, you can discover entirely new continents of possibility, not just in your work, but in your whole life. Okay, so we know what it is, but why does CQ matter on a bigger, more strategic level? Well, that's what we're going to dig into in Section 2. It all comes down to a fundamental shift, from competing to creating. Here's the central idea, right here. Without curiosity, you just accept the world as it is. And that means you're left fighting with everyone else for the exact same piece of the pie. But with curiosity, you start asking different questions, the kinds of questions that lead you to bake a whole new pie altogether. This idea is actually the engine behind the famous blue ocean strategy. Red oceans are the existing markets, and they're red because they're bloody from all the competition. But blue oceans, those are brand new, uncontested markets. CQ is the tool you use to find those blue oceans by asking the questions nobody else is even thinking about. But here's the thing. This kind of strategic advantage doesn't just happen. It all starts with a change inside you. So in Section 3, let's explore the personal mindset shift that having a high CQ really makes possible. Okay, this is where it gets really practical. Just look at these thought patterns. A low CQ mindset hits a wall and asks, ugh, why me? A high CQ mindset hits the same wall and asks, okay, what is this trying to teach me? It's such a simple reframe, but it turns a roadblock into a lesson. Which side of this chart do you lean towards? And this is the journey your mind takes. Curiosity turns a problem into a puzzle. And once it's a puzzle, it stops being scary and starts looking like an opportunity for real innovation. All right, so we know what CQ is, we know why it's a game changer, but how do you actually develop it? Our final section is going to give you a real, actionable system to start building your own CQ. I want you to think about it like you're building a pyramid. The foundation, the most important part, is awareness. Just admitting, I don't know everything. That little bit of humility opens you up to the next level. Inquiry. Let me explore this. That exploration fuels experimentation. You know what? Let me just try it. And from trying, you get learning. Okay, what worked? What didn't? And all of that leads to the peak of the pyramid, innovation. And here's how you can actually put that pyramid into practice in your real life. These are concrete habits. Daily, just try to ask 10 new questions. The goal isn't even to get all the answers. It's about training your mind to spot the gaps. Then, weekly, turn that curious eye on yourself. Do a quick personal SWOT analysis. And monthly, run a small innovation experiment. It's just a low-stakes way to test one of your curious ideas out in the real world. But remember, curiosity alone is not enough. The real magic comes from this formula. It's a high CQ multiplied by consistent action multiplied by deliberate reflection. That's the recipe for a breakthrough. Action without reflection is just being busy. The reflection part is where you find the insight, where the real learning happens. So let's end with this. A closed mind is like a locked room, full of old answers. A curious mind is like an open sky, full of endless possibilities. The only question is, which one are you living in?